what is the moral imperative? How do you know you've been morally sound, morally correct, that your moral compass points north and not southwest? Because southwest is fucked up. Ask Apocalypse. Once you go southwest, tumbleweed, John McCain's down there. He's cool, but he's also confused. And he's always got a Band-Aid on because something happened and we don't know what. You can't trust people that always have a Band-Aid on. Not all the time. I mean, come on. So you don't want to go southwest on the moral compass. Due north at all times. Even when you get to the North Pole, once you get to the North Pole, you're done. You've gone as far north as you can go. You can only go south from there. So I'd say hang out there at the pole. People will tell me that, Kevin, your idea of moral goodness is helping your fellow humans somehow. And typically the way I do that, my best way and most reliable and consistent way of doing that is to listen to people and try to help them with their problems. And that can be psychological problems. It can be computer problems. I'm an electronics guy. So I had a guy today holler out for help on Facebook. I couldn't help it. I never heard of the type of adapter he was asking for help for to get his so-and-so device hooked up to his TV. Never heard of it. It just, audio video is not my thing. It steps too far outside of computers. And even truly modern computers, those, designed and implemented and produced within the last couple of years, I'm a little lost on some of the new technology. I got to catch up. I got to get back into my reading. My reading is so varied that I'm losing I used to have a really solid grip on where technology was right now. I'm losing that. I'm losing that because I'm spreading out a little bit. So I'm dabbling a little bit more and losing some focus there. I accept that. I accept all my flaws, and I've got about 4.3 billion if I've counted correctly. And that's okay. That's just fucking the way I am, I think people set this moral high mark. Well, it's not a moral high mark. Let's get away from that for a second. A behavioral high mark. An accomplishments high mark. And if they don't reach it, they're a failure. And if they don't reach it, they've always got somebody to blame, don't they? And if they do reach it, then they're the king of the world. And if they far exceed it, well, they're fucking superior. Not me. No. No, I don't fit into that thinking model. There's no mark. The mark is to exist, and because I believe it's helpful and the right thing to do, whether or not it is or not, because I believe it is, I try to help my fellow human. That's the best I can do. It's all I can do. I'm certainly not trying to set any records here for accomplishments of any type, and I prove that with my behaviors. I do have some evidence that can support that statement. And isn't that something that's lacking? Maybe in this Church of Genus Hype from fatter gray cranks, or some of you may prefer to call it something like the Church of Genus Hype from fatter gay taints. The whole key is it's memorable because of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Sounds like it. If you can replace those words with something that sounds like them, we might call the church that. We might call it that. But for now, this is what I got. It is about people who take themselves way too seriously, all of us. I'm not talking about an individual here. I'm talking about the whole lot of us. There are very few people that see us where I see us. And it's because it's humiliating. It's humiliating to come to the realization after you come up in a Disney America that you aren't all that as a species. I think we really have overestimated where we are on the evolutionary scale. If it's even that. It's just, what I'm comparing what we are right now to is what we could become in a couple of million years if we survive. Can you imagine? Forget about how we evolve naturally and what new abilities we might begin to design within our own physiques and brains. Well, what about electronic senses that we can add to ourselves? We're getting there. We're pretty much there. We're just at the baby steps part of that. But look how great we're going to be in a couple of million years. That person, that average person, in a few million years, if we survive that long, is going to make you and I look like the equivalent today of us judging the intelligence of a squirrel that is drunk on rotten fruit. He's not doing calculus. He's not making fast cars, is he? He's not going to the moon. He's barely walking. Have you seen those videos? Look them up on YouTube. The squirrels and the rabbits, and I think it's mostly squirrels. They get into these, I swear people are doing it on purpose. They put fruit out there and then it ferments and then they get high because they get the alcohol content from it and they're drunk and they're falling over. It's funny, but it's also a form of torture, isn't it? We're going to test your moral compass today. We're going to test it in a few different ways, see where you are. It's a good day to do it, Super Bowl Sunday. It's not time for the festivities yet, the great commercials. Why not? Felt like doing a show. Don't need to do a show, just felt like doing one, so I'm doing one. I got some clips here we're going to play. This is going to be fun. I'll check in chat room in a minute. We're going to talk a little bit about Immanuel Kant's moral imperative, maybe. Half the time when I say we're going to talk about something, I have full intentions of doing it, and then we don't. So, I'm about to say fuck that. Because I'm tired of just, why even say it if you don't know for sure if you're going to talk about it? So here's some shit we might talk about. That's my new opening line for the content portion of the show. Moral imperative and the categorical imperative. It's a bit of a complex theory. I don't fully understand it. Kant was deep, but he was also a pretty dark bastard. And a lot of philosophers reach that ultimate end. I think they lose that. It's not hope. It's a cheerfulness about the human condition. That is an animal that if you were watching from the birth of a child and his optimism to the advancing mind of a philosopher, would look like a dying animal. Look, it's all bright and starry. Okay, you're watching fast forward to this thing go through its life. Oh, it's all grown up now. It's getting old. Oh, it's crumpling. Oh my God, it's a black pile of powder. That's where the philosopher's mind tends to go on human excitement about the human condition, happiness about general happiness. They're going to have satisfaction. They may have some religious satisfaction. They may have some accomplishment satisfaction, but in believing in humans and how great we are, I think a lot of philosophers come to the conclusion that we're not that great. You have the certain disadvantage of having to be told what's great and then believing it before you can even attempt to be great. And who was it that decided your version of great? Who was it? I'll bet you can't answer that. Well, my folks told me, my church told me, my teachers told me. Okay, in which country? Under which social norms? Under which religious influences? Was it a private school, public school? Was it Detroit or South Florida? Nobody's getting the same thing here. And yet we all think we have this perfectly common knowledge of what is good and right and perfect in the world. And we don't. It's all fucking subjective. You want to know the secret to life? If you can't prove it in a lab, it's subjective. That's all there is to it. So we're guessing a lot. We're doing a lot of guessing here. And you're going to guess with me. We're going to have fun guessing today. Give me 1 minute to load up these audio clips. Let's see if I have any treats for you in the interim. I don't think I do. I don't like that song. I don't know what that one's about. Remix Culture Addict. Let me see if I like this song, and if I do, I'll play it for you while I get my other shit loaded up.
Is it anything you addicted to?
I don't know. We'll play it. Hey, tell me if you like it or not.
Yeah, there it goes. It's finna roll.
Drop that. Yo, welcome to the world of CC Mixed, man. Remix, yeah.
That's right.
Worldwide, we all in your area. Remix up, yo. For real, we concrete possessed to the mix. With moves like this, just listen. Crystal clear. CC Mixed, the sound system on a mission. You're my ambition. Only in it for the club. Respect. The era has just begun. Remix it. Gotta love it. Culture. For real.
Hey, yo.
What you mean?
A-double-D-I-C-T.
Worldwide, coming through. Remix it. Culture. For real. We live it. You know how we do. Word life. Remix. Riding the faders. Worldwide, coming through. Everybody get it.
A-double-D-I-C-T.
Addict.
I like the way that kick in.
Yo, welcome to the world of CC Mixed, man.
Yeah, I like this one. A-double-D-I-C-T.
these lines. Shooting like Jordan and Prime, do or die. We rock mics for the chosen, hypnotize, manipulate minds and own to mankind. Impact we shine, many minds are frozen, words are spoken. Do this continuous love, respect. Remix it in a beat, culture, real.
Hey yo,
What's good? We can take it to a level where it's moving masses coming through. Remix it, culture, real. You know how we do. Word life, remix, riding the faders worldwide, coming through.
double D-I-C-T.
What's your name?
CC Mix the man.
Establish your celebrity. Establish your celebrity. Double D-I-C-T.
Making moves everywhere I go, moving up in the world. Let the world know. Don't stop, let me mix this. Remix it, culture, real. That light over your head, smoking.
Double D-I-C-T.
Addict, act like that. Remix it, culture, real. Oh boy, kicking a beat. Can't sleep. Remix it.
Yeah, that's some pretty crazy stuff if you ask me. I was trying to think of the, do we go from smarter to more stupid or stupid to smarter here? And I think I'm going to mix it up a bit on you, and shame on me for telegraphing that, because you should be able to decide for yourself, but I don't know. This isn't prepared. This is what I do, and you know this, man. Scientific thinking and moral philosophy. We are going to use a quote for commentary, which is, by the way, for those of you curious about copyright, covered under the Fair Use Act, and I can use it legally, and I will. And I believe this is Richard Dawkins here.
Science is not hypnotism. But the whole subject of moral philosophy, of examining moral questions in a logical way to expose inconsistencies, for example. When you're looking at moral questions, so-called moral questions like abortion or euthanasia, you can show that people who take a very strong absolutist line may be being inconsistent with themselves because they are taking a strong line on one thing while at the same time inconsistently not taking a similarly strong line on another. So that would be a scientific way of thinking. It's not science per se, it's moral philosophy, but it's a kind of scientific way of thinking. But also I think scientific facts can illuminate moral debate. In the case of abortion, again, for example, a scientist might contribute to the debate information about at what point during the development of an embryo the nervous system comes into being. And presumably before the nervous system comes into existence, there is no ability to feel pain or to suffer. And so maybe something important happens at the moment when the nervous system comes into being. On the other hand, you might say, well, even when a human embryo develops a nervous system and develops the capacity to perhaps suffer, it's still a much smaller nervous system than the nervous system of an adult cow. And so what about balancing the suffering of a human embryo against the suffering of an adult cow when it's being slaughtered for meat? An absolutist moralist would say, well, humans are just plain special, and cows are not human, so they don't deserve the same moral consideration. But a scientist might come along and say, well, what do you mean by that? I mean, we are, after all evolved, we're all cousins. At what point in the evolution of, since we know evolution is a fact, at what point in the evolution of humans would you suddenly draw the line and say, right, from now on they're all human, and before that they're not? In the evolutionary progression from the common ancestor with chimpanzees, lived about 6 or 7 million years ago, to modern humans, going through creatures which might have looked a bit like Lucy, might have looked a bit like